more can I say?
Top Billin. All right, Top Billin, like we do every year about this time, you already know what time it is, baby. All right, so spring games are underway. Many have happened there, none more so important than what is going on with the mighty Alabama Crimson Tide, and specifically what's going on with my boy Bryce Young. Last time you guys saw me talking about Bryce Young was a few months ago. I forget what it was, something like wishful thinking to doubt that Bryce Young won't be destroying college football or something like that. And, of course, you got haters out there always talking that cash money shit. Oh, I don't think he's that good. I don't think he's going to be that good. He did this in the film study. He did that. I'm saying, seriously nitpicking a true freshman quarterback literally in their first couple of games, however many that I did on that particular film study, and thinking about this, right? This is how you know when it's haters. They can't point out anything positive. Everything is negative with a guy that is playing football at the University of Alabama as a true freshman, even getting time in the very first game of the season like he did. So imagine that. No true preseason. COVID, right? COVID impacted that. No true preseason. How do you supposed to get a rhythm in camp? No spring game. None of that stuff that we can see this year that he will have, like we see right now with the spring game. Being able to develop a rhythm. Him getting the lion's share of the snaps as the presumed number one starter, I would have to imagine, right? And just being the guy, knowing that, hey, I have a chance to come in right now and I'm the guy. I'm on campus now. I get a feel for college football. You can see and expect to see a huge leap with this guy, and you didn't even need to really be that smart to know that, right? So if you watch the spring game, you can definitely see. Now, keep in mind, this is a spring game. I say this every year. You can't take this as the gospel. This is an intra-squad scrimmage, and remember, this is a lot of stuff that's actually being done to your team or being done by your team, but there's certain things that I've learned to take from it to where I can apply that and it's applicable to the upcoming season. So Bryce Young, matter of fact, man, let's go ahead and get into it. We ain't got to talk about it. Oh, yeah, we do got to talk about it. Make sure you support quality content. You already know when I do these spring game stuff and a lot of this college stuff, these guys be coming up on here with these content ID claims, these major networks, and they be taking all the proceeds. So your boy out here grinding, bumping and grinding, pause, giving you that heat rock, and you guys can't even support quality content. So make sure you subscribe. Make sure you support quality content. Anything that you want to send is anything, baby, and it's all accepted and appreciated. All right, so them working out of 12 personnel, we got to see a lot of young guys play. I'm very excited about my man Trayshawn Holden. I've been talking about him now. You got to get Trayshawn Holden involved, no doubt about that, man. Guys like him are the reason my Virginia Tech Hokies be sucking these days, right? So make sure you get these guys that you're stealing from these other teams, get them involved. But the 12 personnel, man, if you talk about a guy like Cam Latu, we always see glimpses of him, man. This could be a year that he breaks out, and we know Jaleel Billingsley's probably the best tight end in all of college football. So he's got some guys to work with, right? Doesn't even have his top 3 or 4 running backs back here. A guy like Slade Bolden with a ton of attributes and a ton of experience as well. But, man, you're going to have a submarine route here by Jaleel Billingsley. You're going to have a drive route by Cam Latu, but then he doubles back there because Bryce Young is doing what? Going through his progressions, and that's what the haters were saying. He couldn't go through his progression. Let's see this. Back to the basket play action fake. Of course, you know you originally want to work deep to short, right? High-low read on this one. He comes around and sets. Nothing there with Cam Latu that he likes. Probably not going to go to Jaleel Billingsley here, so he starts to work backside. So in him working backside right here, he muscle relaxes Byron Young, right? He muscle relaxes that man right up out of his calf muscles. So he's done. But look, he hits the check. People like, man, why you worried about that, Murph? That's nothing. That's huge. If you have a playmaker like this guy that's able to think the game through and being able to actually take the cheese, you're still at Alabama. You get it to one of your running backs on the check down, it can still be a huge play, and that's exactly what this was right here, just going through his progressions. I absolutely love that. You can see it from this way right here. Back to the basket play action fake. You see the submarine route right there. Slide protection. So they're coming back out of that. It's a staple in the West Coast playbook. And the one thing that I did like is you couldn't really tell that much of a difference in the offense with Bill O'Brien coming in, because you can tell all he did was keep the playbook, and he's just going to call the plays from that playbook and add a little bit of a spin on it. But you can see his eyes right here going from his primary read to his secondary read, deep to short. Nothing there. Using that playmaking ability right there. So that's what you have. Guys talking about Paul Tyson and stuff like that. Come on, man. Let's be for real here. This is what you want. A guy with some playmaking ability that's able to get you out of trouble and being able to deliver. That shit was hard. Wasn't perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but you can't expect somebody with that little experience to be perfect. Got Miami straight away. So you want him to make the mistakes now as a young player right there and then grow from them. So this was a perfect mistake to have made, because he assumed that just like last time that this particular check would be open, because he did have that success with it. We see right here, back to the basket play action fake. But this is what you want in a young guy. You want to see the bare bones of it. The bare bones of it is, look, he's reading high-low, deep to short, going through his progressions right there, standing tall and talented in the pocket. Tall is an operative word there, but not necessarily pocket closing down on him. He's like, all right, let me go ahead and check this down. He assumes that the check is going to be there, doesn't even see Deontay Lawson right there, and boom, almost picked off right there. And I ain't dumb. I know that's you, Dylan Moses. Stop pretending you want to redo on last season, so you came back and renamed yourself Deontay Lawson. That's pretty smart. It's pretty smart. You get an extra few years, you'll finally be in the NFL at the age of 29. Deontay Lawson always picks that off there. But if you look at it for straight up, though, man, you want to see this guy going through his progressions. Isn't that what you say he couldn't do? Yeah. Wow. People can, grow with experience in life. I know that's a novel concept to some of you goofballs out there, but he's doing that. Growing as a player right there, but that's a mistake that you can learn from. Luckily, it wasn't picked off, but that's definitely something that he'll think about from now on. One of the things that I'm going to be thinking about is his opposite hash throws, because I love him here. You got a Jaha. He's right here working on an in-breaking route. Cam Latu, slant. You got double slants right here. Dino, Slade Bolden. And I think a deep curl where you can't really see it right here off the screen by your man Trayshawn Holden. So a lot of college teams don't even really sweat backside throws from the opposite hash, because a lot of quarterbacks just can't get it there. And if they do get it there, that shit usually picked off. But you see right here, this is a legitimate opposite hash throw right here, because even though he's not on the hash, this shit shoots past the numbers. That's a long-ass throw. And it's the Trayshawn Holden, my dude. Slanging Josh Jobe, making him fertilize himself, and he was off to the races right there. But how long of a throw this is, right? And this is a throw to where you have to put mustard on it, but you can't use body English because it has to be accurate as well. Look at him step into it right here. I love it when he steps into his throws and not kind of jumping and stuff like that, right? His mechanics can be a little faulty at times, something that, hey, if you can get away, that's what they say, man. You can get away with stuff until you just can't get away with it. But so far, so good on that. You can see him right there, man. Straight cutting the wind, past the numbers, working back there. I'm pretty sure he was in off-man coverage. And look at that. Sling a man off, you're in all that space. The opposite hash throws out love. Bill O'Brien making stuff mad easy for people. You're going to have what amounts to a seam route by Slade Bolden. I think this is just clear outs, because this ends up being a seam and almost looking like a skinny post at the same time. So these two receivers end up in the same area, which you never really want. But I believe they're just clearing out for a choice route right here by Jaleel Billingsley, reading the leverage or creating the leverage. But he ends up taking an outbreaking route right there. And then, of course, you have your check down. So I want to say this is another high-low read. However, Bill O'Brien's paring it down to where he pretty much has to work with the primary and then hit a check. And it's off back to the basket play action fake. So all the people talking that Bill O'Brien shit, I didn't even want to entertain that. You college people kill me with your lack of knowledge. Bill O'Brien's a hell of a coach. Just like I told people Coach Sark was a hell of a coach when they tried that shit on him. Back to the basket play action fake. Actually, let's go back right here. Jaleel Billingsley going against Deontay Lawson right here. So reading that leverage, of course, the play action fake allows for that to set up right there. You can see Jaleel Billingsley looking at that inside leverage. So he wants to shoot this to the inside and break it back outside just to get Lawson back off. But, hey, he does it the physical way. They read that together, climbs the pocket, throwing that bad boy right there. And that was pretty much all she wrote. And then, baya! DeMarco Hellams put that man through hell. What the heck? Come on. You got to have your head on the swivel right there. So Jaleel Billingsley gets his stool softened, not looking. Boom. Stool softened fertilizer. And then look at Hellams. He gets up. Look at that. He's got his hands out helping out his teammate. I like that, right? Is that a courtesy flush? That was gruesome. But check this out right here. Back to the basket play action fake. And this allows a man to go through his read, even though it's a half-field read, not a full scan progression, because all the action is going on one side of the field. So that's how you help out a young quarterback. Of course, Bill O'Brien's going to know that. He coached Christian Hackenberg, right? Had him looking really good. And Christian Hackenberg was clearly trash dookie in the end. Made me look bad right there with my national college football coverage at SB Nation. But, hey, you win some, you lose some. And, of course, working with a young Deshaun Watson and all this and the tools that he's gathered from his time at Georgia Tech and places like that. Bill O'Brien, man, don't say shit about Bill O'Brien. Don't say shit bad about him up on my channel. FIB formation into the boundary here, and you're going to have pretty much a divergence route by your man Slade Bolden here. In breaking route, looks like Javon Baker in the slot here. And then you have another deep in-breaking route to the sideline. And Bryce Young's ability to scramble, detach from the pocket, keep his eyes downfield, and throw against the grain, I think is unbelievable. People are really loving that these days right here. You see him surveying, really trying to get Brian Banks here and these guys committed to going with this divergence route. But look at him here. Byron Young, once again, muscle relaxed. He may have touched him, so we're going to give Byron Young a little credit for that, even though I hate touch football in the NFL, in college football or in football period there. But look at him throw off his back foot against the grain with that three-quarter delivery, jumps in the air, right? Sonic Hedgehogging, getting his Kyler Murray on right there. And this was a perfect throw. Low and away, Trayshawn Holden has to come up with that, man. He said, my bad, to on the play. He would have had Josh Jobe on that again, giving Josh Jobe the blues there. But this is what you like, man. It's that pocket mobility, keeping your eyes upfield as a young quarterback, throwing against the grain. So that takes some serious dexterity and talent right there. He's got really good arm talent. He's got an above-average arm strength, pretty much in the mold, I would say, of like Tua. So similar skill set in that manner right there, man. You'll be able to do a lot of different things with this kid. He's a pretty good athlete. Speaking of throwing against the grain here, same deal right here. See my man Keelan Robinson back. Come on, baby. How many of these DMV area players on the damn team, though, man? Send them boys back to Virginia Tech. All right, same deal right here, keeping his eyes upfield, going through his progressions right there. Just buys a little bit of time right there in front of Randolph and throws against the grain again. You can see him right there, them jump throws. Throws against the grain. And, of course, people always used to talk when I was coming up, throwing against your body into the middle of the field like that. But I guess these days, if you can see it, why not right there? That's a tough throw to make against the grain. But it's end up being a pretty good play. Move the chains. All right, what about shooting the ball downfield? Everybody always loves to shoot the ball downfield. Now check this out right here. 5-on-5 crime. Javon Baker and my man Jalen Armour Davis, who got it. Oh, that was a hell of a throw. Your man didn't have to break stride or anything. Jalen Armour Davis does a good job turning inward on this particular one. Would have actually liked to have seen him turn the same direction right there. And hold on, we're talking about the offense right here. I'm getting a little bit too excited. Jalen Armour Davis had your boy excited right here. But Trayshawn Holden going up over him, grabbing this with two hands. It was just a good play by Armour Davis continuing to work. But, man, that would have been a hell of a play. You can see it from this angle right here. A little bit of a hold right there, man. A little bit of a hold right there. But Javon Baker breaks through it. Another kid with a ton of talent coming out of the state of Georgia. Javon Baker had that, just couldn't squeeze it. all the way in, couldn't hold it when he hit the ground right there with your boy continuing to work. Actually, man, it wasn't really much of Armour Davis. Look, he still has the ball right here. It really dislodges itself when he hits the ground and whiplashes himself. But great throw by Bryce Young. And I really love this one right here, man. It's a spring game. You got to call this correctly, man, or at least just give it to him. Check this out. Opposite hash right here. Going to be going opposite hash. Going to have a fade route by my man Trayshawn Holden here. Steps into it. Oh, one hand. Look, this was, in my opinion, he has the ball right here in his hands. He's hitting the pylon right there. You see it? That's a touchdown. It's the highlight of the spring so far. Clemson has something like this as well that they didn't call. In the spring game, man, you got to call it. That was a damn good throw. And it's opposite hash as well. Let's look at the mechanics right here, though. Long throw. He really gets his Brett Favre. Remember, I compared him about a year ago, had that Brett Favre throwing delivery, and I show how Brett Favre also has that whip and turnover like that. Whip turnover, severe hip rotation. Ball is absolutely humming, and Trayshawn Holden just has severe ball skills. That's a touchdown, man. So I saw what I needed to see from this kid, man. We don't have to see anymore, right? I know the content ID police going to be all over this anyway. So like I said before, make sure you support quality content, especially when I come through. Like I said before, I told y'all this before. I'm leaning primarily NFL. Of course, I'm still going to have my Alabama, Georgia coverage, a little LSU and stuff like that. But when I come back around, make sure you support, no doubt about that. Alabama has a hell of a team. All the answers are on the test. Right? You're losing these guys, but to me, John Mechie, first-round pick. Jaleel Billingsley, first-round pick. Bryce Young, first-round talent. Still got Evan Neal and these guys on the line. And more guys to come with the twins coming up and some of the younger guys like Brown from earlier class periods. If we're talking about the offense, loaded with running backs, got a senior back in Brian Robinson. Still got my man Trey Sanders there with Keelan Robinson. And, of course, Jason McClellan. Just a host of wide receivers, too many to even name. And, of course, we already know the defense should be dope, especially see Jalen Armour Davis stepping up, McKinstry. Of course, Josh Jobe back, Jordan Battle, DeMarco Helms, Daniel Wright. It was be about that edge, those edge players. Chris Allen back, Will Anderson there, Chris Baswell doing this thing, another DMV kid there. And all the damn guys in the interior, man, DJ Dell in the crew, Byron Young. Come on, man. Tim Smith is too damn loaded. So if you think Alabama can't repeat, I know you pissed off, man. Better check your depends for real. I'm serious. These guys have a great chance of repeating. Going to be tough. Obviously, Georgia's going to be on the loose on that ass. I want to see that matchup this year. That will be hard. Two California quarterbacks. And LSU, Oregon, Clemson, a whole bunch of dope-ass teams, man. So it should be a good college football year for you guys. But make sure you support quality content. Make sure you holler at your boy. Tell a friend to subscribe. And with that being said, peace.
What more can I say?
Top Billin.